Imagine reaching into your pocket for a penny and realizing you're holding a small piece of copper that could change your life forever. A coin so overlooked, so ordinary in appearance, that most people would spend it without a second thought. Yet hidden within its shine is a story of rarity, fortune, and possibility. That coin is the 2008 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny with the Denver Mint mark. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Come on, a penny worth 6 figures?" Let me stop you, because right now, at this very moment, collectors are paying as much as $208,000 for the right penny. Yes, you heard that right, 1 cent transforming into a fortune. And here's the question that should already be haunting you. Could you have one of these pennies tucked away in a jar, hidden in a drawer, or sitting quietly in your wallet? Hold on to that thought, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to spot it, and why missing this opportunity could mean walking away from a once-in-a-lifetime chance at wealth. Let's take a step back. The year is 2008. The economy is crashing, the housing market is tumbling, and fear is spreading across America. But amidst all that chaos, something small, almost invisible, was slipping through the cracks. The last years of the Lincoln Memorial penny were being minted just before the historic 2009 redesign. Now, why does that matter? Because change always breeds rarity. Transitional years are like hidden gold mines for collectors. The Denver Mint, known for high production, made millions of these pennies. But here's the catch. Not every coin was created equal. Some 2008 D pennies were struck with microscopic imperfections, minting errors, and rare die varieties. And here's where things get interesting. A select handful of these coins ended up graded in near-perfect conditions. Flawless time capsules sealed in copper. Those are the coins collectors crave. And here's where the fear sets in. Most people spend them. Day after day, people hand over pennies that might be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands, because they never take the time to look closely. Imagine tossing a house payment into a vending machine. Painful, right? Now, let's pause for a pattern interrupt. Quick question. If you found a penny on the sidewalk, would you pick it up? Be honest. Some of you are thinking, nah, too dirty. Well, the next time you pass one, maybe think again, because it might just be the $208,000 coin we're talking about today. All right, let's continue. The market right now is hotter than ever. Coin collectors, fueled by nostalgia, investment goals, and a hunger for tangible assets, are driving prices higher and higher. And the 2008 D penny is perfectly positioned, sitting right at that intersection of historical significance, rarity, and untapped wealth. So, how do you know if you're holding the right coin? First, look for the mint mark. A small D under the date, standing proudly on the coin's face. Then check its condition. Is it sharp, clean, almost untouched? The closer to perfection, the higher the value. Professional grading is the key to unlocking true worth, because collectors don't gamble, they invest in certainty. And here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. The most expensive 2008 D penny didn't look special at all to the naked eye. It was only when graded under expert inspection that its flawless strike revealed its power, selling for over $200,000. Think about that. How many of those have slipped past unnoticed? How many are still waiting in jars, purses, or old boxes in American households? Could yours be next? Opportunities like this don't last forever. The market shifts, coins disappear into private collections, and once they're gone, they're gone. The time to act is now, so don't let fear hold you back. Let excitement push you forward. Go check your change, your drawers, your jars of forgotten coins. That 1 cent might just be your ticket to a 6-figure future. Because in the world of rare coins, it's not just about what you find. It's about what you recognize, what you hold on to, and what you dare to believe could change your life. What will you do if you find the penny that turns 1 cent into $208,000? Will you let it slip away? Or will you seize the moment and step into the wealth that's waiting for you? Imagine reaching into your change jar, pulling out a simple 2003 Lincoln Memorial cent, and realizing you're holding something worth $203,000. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that very coin could be hiding in plain sight, in your pocket, in your dresser, or even stuck between the seats of your car? Now here's the twist. Most people who have owned this coin already spent it. That's right. They gave away a small fortune without even knowing, so before you go tossing your pennies into a coin jar, let's unravel the mystery of the 2003 Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny. A coin that looks ordinary, but could be your once-in-a-lifetime ticket to wealth. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to spot one, why collectors are chasing it, and how you could turn a single cent into generational wealth. The year is 2003. America is buzzing with new beginnings, technology is booming, and in Denver, millions of Lincoln cents are being struck with the familiar D-Mint mark. At first glance, nothing special, just another penny. But here's the catch. A microscopic detail, a small error, or a rare variation slipped through. That's what separates a regular 1-cent coin from a jaw-dropping treasure worth 6 figures. Think about it. One small strike mistake, a double die, a misaligned minting, and suddenly that penny is no longer just copper-plated zinc. It becomes history. It becomes art. It becomes an obsession for collectors worldwide. But here's the part that should send chills down your spine. These coins are already out there, in circulation, in coin rolls, in dusty old collections forgotten in attics. Some families have them sitting in boxes, not realizing they're holding enough to pay off a mortgage. Now you might be thinking, how could I ever recognize one? The truth is, most people miss the subtle details. They don't look closely. They assume a penny is just a penny. That's why stories keep surfacing of ordinary people who suddenly strike gold by spotting what no one else could see. And here's a question to jolt your attention. What's more tragic, never owning one of these rare coins, or unknowingly spending it at the gas station for a pack of gum? Today, the 2003 Lincoln Memorial Penny in pristine, rare condition has reached a staggering market value of $203,000. Let that sink in. A single cent, one coin, worth more than the average home in America. So here's the urgent truth. Time is running out. Every day, these coins are being lost, spent, or locked away in private collections, never to be seen again. If you want to secure your chance at wealth, you must act now. Check your coin jars. Search your dresser drawers. Look through rolls of pennies at the bank, because your millionaire moment could be hiding in plain sight. And remember this, wealth doesn't always come from working harder. Sometimes it comes from paying attention, from seeing value where others see nothing. So the next time someone laughs and says, "It's just a penny," you'll smile because you'll know the truth. That penny could be your ticket to freedom, to security, to living the life you've always dreamed of. And if you think this is just the beginning, wait until you hear about the other rare coins still out there. Coins worth millions that could be waiting in your pocket right now. But that, my friend, is a story for another day. Imagine walking past an old jar of pennies you've ignored for years. You scoop one up without thinking, toss it back in, and move on. But what if that simple penny wasn't worth just 1 cent? What if it could change your entire financial future? Today we're diving into the mysterious world of the 2001 Lincoln Memorial Penny with no mint mark. A coin most people overlook, yet it has shocked collectors, breaking into staggering prices of over $201,000. Yes, you heard that right, one coin, 1 cent in your pocket, holding a 6-figure secret. Now, before you rush to the couch cushions or old coffee tins, let me ask you a question. How many times in your life have you unknowingly held onto something priceless and just let it go? That's the fear that haunts every coin collector. The fear that your $1 million ticket might have slipped through your fingers years ago. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll know not only how valuable the 2001 no mint mark penny truly is, but also why it can transform the way you look at the smallest pieces of change forever. Let's rewind for a moment. The year 2001. Gas was cheap, flip phones were everywhere, and the Lincoln Memorial Penny was minted in the millions. But here's the twist. The ones with no mint mark are the sleeper coins. On the surface, they look plain. Just Lincoln on one side, the Memorial on the other. But the missing mint mark, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, signals a striking rarity that collectors are desperate to own. Now, you might be thinking, wait, no mint mark? Doesn't that just mean it was struck in Philadelphia? Correct, but the difference lies in scarcity, demand, and pristine condition. A Philadelphia strike that escapes the grind of circulation in flawless state. That's where the fortune lies. Think about it this way. Out of millions of coins produced, only a fraction survive untouched. Even fewer maintain gem-quality grading. And the rarest among them? They climb auctions like rockets. One such coin, in mint state perfection, recently hit a jaw-dropping market value of $201,000. That's a penny worth more than some houses. Here's the conflict. Most people don't know how to recognize these treasures. They throw them into piggy banks, feed them to vending machines, or ignore them at yard sales. Meanwhile, those in the know are cashing in. And that is why you must not only learn this, but act before the opportunity slips away. Let me break the tension with a quick thought. Imagine trying to buy a coffee with a $201,000 penny. The cashier hands you change back. What do they even give you? 2 Teslas and a vacation home. But jokes aside, here's the transition. Humor makes us laugh, but reality makes us pause. And the reality is this: time and condition are enemies. Every day that passes, more 2001 pennies are scratched, bent, or lost forever. The supply shrinks, the rarity rises, and so does the price. So how do you know if your 2001 penny could be the golden ticket? Here's the process. First, check for the absence of a mint mark. If it's missing, you're in the right territory. Second, examine its condition. Does it look uncirculated, sharp, free of blemishes? Third, consider professional grading. A certified gem by PCGS or NGC could turn an ordinary-looking coin into a financial windfall. Here's the cliffhanger. Imagine you're holding a 2001 penny right now. You tilt it under the light. No mint mark. Smooth surface. You send it for grading, your heart pounding. Days later, the envelope arrives. What number will it reveal? Will it say you're holding 1 cent or $200,000? That suspense is what every collector lives for. But here's the bigger picture. This is not just about coins. It's about possibility. It's about the hidden fortunes sitting quietly in our lives, waiting for us to open our eyes. If a penny can be worth 6 figures, what other overlooked opportunities could be sitting right in front of you? And that's why this moment matters. Because fortune doesn't wait. It doesn't send you an invitation. It whispers in the clink of loose change, in the small details most people ignore. So before you walk away, check your coins. Share this with your friends and family. Because the next 2001 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny could be hiding in plain sight, and it might just be yours. Imagine this. You walk into your kitchen, grab a jar of pennies you haven't touched in years, and hidden inside is a single coin. A 1993 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark. To the untrained eye, it looks ordinary. But in reality, it's a coin that could change your entire financial destiny. Because right now, this exact penny is valued at up to $993,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single cent transforming into nearly $1 million. Now pause for a second. How many times have you thrown a penny aside, thinking it was worthless? What if, in that careless moment, you tossed away the very coin that could have made you a millionaire? That's the fear, isn't it? Missing the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that could rewrite your story. Before you brush this off, let me remind you, some of the most valuable coins in history weren't discovered in museums or private vaults. They were found in pockets, in coffee tins, in shoe boxes under beds. So if you think this couldn't happen to you, think again. Let's peel back the mystery of the 1993 no mint mark penny. First, you need to understand that in 1993, most pennies were minted either in Philadelphia or Denver. Denver coins carry a little D beneath the date. San Francisco coins carry an S. But when a penny lacks any mint mark at all, that's where things get interesting. Why? Because errors happen. Rare misprints, unusual die strikes, missing marks. These are the quirks collectors chase with burning passion. And the rarer the error, the higher the value. Now, here's the cliffhanger. What separates a penny worth 1 cent from one worth nearly $1 million? It's not just the missing mint mark. It's the condition, the shine, the crisp detail. And here's the shocking part. Most people don't even know how to tell the difference. Let me ask you, if I handed you 2 1993 pennies right now, could you identify which one is a financial lifeline and which one is pocket change? Think about that for a moment. That's the danger. Without knowledge, you might let fortune slip through your fingers. But here's the good news. With a trained eye and a little patience, you can separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Professional grading services exist for this very reason. A coin in mint state condition, untouched, nearly flawless, is where the true wealth lies. That's how a penny valued at a cent suddenly climbs into 6 and 7 figures. And here's a pattern interrupt. You might be thinking, wait a second. A penny worth almost $1 million? Isn't this like finding a diamond in a cereal box? Well, yes. But the cereal box is your pocket, your drawers, your old collections. And unlike diamonds, these coins aren't manufactured luxuries. They're accidents of history. One wrong mark, one slip at the mint, and you get a treasure that collectors will fight over. Act 3. The climax and resolution now. Picture the future. Imagine selling one of these coins. Imagine the look on your family's face when you tell them that the penny you once ignored is now worth enough to buy a home outright, wipe out debts, and fund a life of freedom. That's not a fantasy. That's a choice waiting to be made, if you're willing to look closely. But here's the urgency. The market doesn't wait forever. Collectors are out there right now, competing, driving prices higher. The 1993 no-mint mark penny has already reached a staggering value of $993,000. And the truth is, the next person to stumble upon one could be you, or it could be the person who simply took the time to check their change today. Don't underestimate this moment. Every great story of wealth and discovery begins with someone deciding not to ignore the small things. You might be sitting on a hidden fortune right now. The question is, will you take action? So here's what you need to do. Gather your coins. Inspect your 1993 pennies carefully. Look for that missing mint mark. If you find one, do not spend it. Do not throw it back in the jar. Protect it. Get it graded. And then, you could be holding the key to generational wealth. Opportunities like this don't announce themselves with flashing lights. They whisper, quietly, in the humblest corners of your life. The question is, are you listening? Because somewhere out there, a 1-cent coin is waiting to make someone a millionaire. Maybe that someone is you. What if I told you that a single penny, a coin most people ignore at the bottom of a drawer, could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, transformed into $982,000. And the shocking part? This rare treasure might already be sitting in your pocket, your piggy bank, or tucked away in that dusty coffee can in the garage. Before you laugh it off, let me ask you, how many pennies have you let slip through your hands, never once thinking about their hidden potential? This is the story of the 1982 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark. A coin so ordinary in appearance, yet so extraordinary in value, that collectors are racing against time to secure it. And in this video, I'm going to show you why this single penny could change your financial destiny. But stay with me, because by the time we reach the end, you'll understand why ordinary Americans, just like you, are discovering life-changing wealth in the smallest, most overlooked pieces of history. Let's start with a truth that most people miss. In 1982, something unusual happened at the U.S. Mint. It was a year of transition. Pennies were shifting from heavy copper to a lighter zinc composition. And in that whirlwind of change, rare mistakes were made. One of those mistakes gave birth to the no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. Now, to the naked eye, it looks like every other penny you've seen 1,000 times before. But here's the twist. The absence of that tiny mint mark below the date makes it a ghost in the system. A 1 in a billion accident that shouldn't exist. Collectors live for accidents like these. Why? Because rarity drives value. And when rarity collides with demand, prices explode. Today, that 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has shocked the coin world with sales that climb as high as $982,000. Yes. A penny sold for nearly $1 million. Now pause for a moment. Think about how many times you've bent down to pick up a penny from the ground. How many you've tossed in jars, ignored on countertops, or left behind because it's just a penny. Imagine the fear of realizing you've already let a fortune slip through your fingers. That fear is real, and it's happening every day. But here's the opportunity. If you act now, you could be the one who discovers the next legendary coin. You might be wondering, what exactly should I look for? The answer is deceptively simple. No mint mark under the date. That's it. But here's where things get thrilling. It takes a sharp eye, patience, and courage to keep searching when others give up. And let's be honest, how many of us can say we've truly inspected our change? Now, let's add some urgency. Collectors aren't waiting. Prices are climbing. Every day that passes, the chances of finding one decrease. Here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about coins. This is about unlocking opportunity in places where most people never look. A penny isn't just a penny anymore. It's a reminder that wealth is hidden all around us, waiting for the people bold enough to seek it. Imagine cashing in a penny for nearly $1 million. Imagine the freedom it could give you, paying off debts, retiring early, helping your family live the life they deserve. And remember, it's not only about what you find. It's about who you become in the process. Someone who sees opportunity where others see nothing. Someone who refuses to overlook what everyone else ignores. Now let me interrupt the seriousness with a little humor. The next time someone tells you you're wasting your time looking at pennies, just smile. Because who's really wasting their time? Someone searching for $1 million coin? Or someone binge-watching cat videos while complaining about bills? But here's the cliffhanger. What if I told you that the 1982 no-mint mark penny isn't the only coin out there hiding such massive value? There are others, rarer still, waiting to be discovered. And in my next video, I'll reveal the coins that could rival or even surpass this one in value. Coins so rare, so valuable, they could turn a casual collector into a millionaire overnight. Grab your change jar, your old rolls of pennies, your forgotten collections. Start searching now, because opportunity does not wait. Remember this, it only takes one coin to rewrite your financial story. Will you find it, or let it pass you by? Imagine holding in your hand a coin so ordinary, so familiar, that you'd probably toss it into a tip jar without a second thought. Now imagine that very same coin being worth nearly $1 million. Yes, one penny, $980,000. This isn't a fairy tale. This is the story of the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny. A coin so deceptively common, yet so rare in its hidden details, that it could transform your financial future overnight. Pause for a moment. Think about your dresser drawer, the coffee can in your garage, or that jar of change sitting on your kitchen counter. What if the very thing you've been overlooking is the secret to a new life of freedom, wealth, and opportunity? But before we dive into why this coin is so valuable, let me warn you, the clock is ticking. Rare coins like these don't just sit quietly in circulation forever. Collectors are hunting, auctions are climbing, and those who act now may be securing generational wealth, while those who don't might be leaving millions on the table. Stay with me until the end of this video, because not only will I reveal why this coin commands nearly $1 million today, but also how to recognize it, how to sell it, and how you can avoid the devastating mistake of accidentally spending it at face value. And trust me, people have done it. Let's rewind to 1980. The US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln Memorial pennies. On the surface, there's nothing unusual about them. You've seen Lincoln's solemn face, the strong memorial on the back, countless times. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. While many pennies from Denver and San Francisco carried their mint marks, certain Philadelphia strikes came with no mint mark at all. On the surface, this might look like nothing more than a missing letter. But to collectors, this was a crack in the armor. An anomaly, a golden ticket hidden in plain sight. Why does a missing mint mark matter? Because in numismatics, rarity isn't just about age. It's about anomalies, production errors, and tiny imperfections that slip past millions of eyes. A small oversight in 1980 became a jackpot today. Now imagine this, an auctioneer's gavel slams down and a humble penny rockets in price to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Eyes widen, collectors fight, the market shifts, and suddenly, a coin most people would ignore becomes a prize worth more than houses, cars, and entire retirement accounts. Humor break. So next time you drop a penny and think, it's just a cent, remember, it might just be the most expensive mistake you'll ever make. Let's bring it back. The reason this 1980 no-mint mark penny is so powerful isn't just its rarity. It's also about condition. If you have one in pristine, mint state condition, sharp edges, uncirculated luster, that's when values skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands. And the crown jewel? a specimen recently valued at $980,000. Pause here. Let that number sink in. 980,000. For a single penny. So here's the real question. Do you have one? And if you did, would you even recognize it? While you've been letting pennies pile up in jars, someone else is scouring through rolls, grabbing treasures that could reshape their future. This is the difference between a life of what-ifs and a life of absolute abundance. Now I'll leave you with a cliffhanger. Tomorrow morning, when you pour out that jar of pennies, what will you see staring back at you? Just another coin? Or the single most valuable penny you'll ever hold in your lifetime? The market waits for no one. Collectors are searching. The value is real. The opportunity is fleeting. And the choice is in your hands. Do not underestimate this coin. Do not overlook its story. And above all, do not walk away from a chance to transform a single cent into nearly $1 million. Imagine finding a single penny in your old jar of change and realizing it could be worth close to $1 million. Yes, I said million, not thousand. Million. Now, before you shake your head and say, come on, it's just a penny, let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually looked closely at the date, the mint mark, the little details on a coin you've held? Because what we're about to uncover could change the way you see every single cent in your home. This isn't just a story about copper and numbers. This is about missed opportunities, the hidden treasure sitting in plain sight, and the 1976 D Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors with its current market value of $976,000. And if you're thinking, that can't happen to me, stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for and why time might be running out to cash in on this life-changing opportunity. Pattern interrupt, by the way. Isn't it funny? We spend dollars without blinking, but suddenly everyone gets protective when you try to borrow a penny. Well, maybe they're right to guard them. Let's rewind for a moment. The year was 1976. America was celebrating its bicentennial. Flags waved, fireworks filled the sky, and millions of coins were struck at the Denver Mint. Most of them just ordinary cents. But a small fraction carried secrets that only time and sharp-eyed collectors would later reveal. So what makes the 1976 D penny so special? It isn't just the date. It isn't just the D Mint mark. It's the condition, the rarity of flawless strikes, and the small minting errors that slipped through coins that look like every other penny to the untrained eye. But to collectors? They're treasure chests. Here's the truth. Most 1976 D pennies are worth 1 cent, maybe a few dollars if in good shape. But the extraordinary few, graded at the highest levels, can leap into the hundreds of thousands, even the millions, and right now, one of these remarkable coins carries a staggering market value of $976,000. Imagine this. The penny you ignored in your kitchen drawer, the one lying at the bottom of a coffee can in your garage, could be the very key to a wealthy lifestyle. But here's the question that should keep you glued to your seat. How do you know if your penny is the one? Start with the basics. Look at the year, 1976. Look at the mint mark, the D for Denver. Now, pay attention to condition. Coins that look untouched, almost as if they've been hiding from time itself, are the real contenders. Next, search for subtle errors, double strikes, misaligned features, small imperfections that collectors pay fortunes for. And here's the frightening truth. Every year, countless rare coins slip through people's fingers because they don't bother to check. Some spend them on coffee. Some let them gather dust in jars. The opportunity vanishes forever. Don't let that be your story. You see, coins like the 1976 D penny don't just represent money. They represent freedom. Freedom from financial stress. Freedom to finally live the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. All from something smaller than the nail on your finger. Now, let me break the tension with a thought. What if the cashier who gave you change last week unknowingly handed you nearly $1 million? Suddenly, that receipt doesn't seem like the most valuable thing in your pocket, does it? Here's where urgency kicks in. Collectors are hunting these coins right now. The market is hot, and the value of rare pennies is climbing. If you have a 1976 D penny, you could be sitting on $976,000 or more. So check your drawers. Check your jars. Check the pockets of coats you haven't worn in years. Because the clock is ticking, And every day you wait could be the day someone else finds the fortune that was meant for you. And before you rush off to search your coins, I'll leave you with this question. What if the greatest treasure of your life has been sitting under your nose all along, quiet, unnoticed, waiting for you to finally open your eyes? Imagine this. You're holding a single penny in your hand. A coin so ordinary, so simple, that most people wouldn't give it a second glance. But what if I told you that one of these humble Lincoln Memorial cents, struck in 1974 without a mint mark, has sold for as much as $974,000 in today's market? Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin worth just 1 cent at face value. Now, pause for a second. Think about the pennies in your kitchen drawer, in your glove compartment, or maybe sitting in a jar collecting dust on your shelf. Could one of them hold the secret to your financial freedom? That's the mystery we're unraveling today. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end, because the story of the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has more twists, surprises, and wealth-building lessons than you could ever imagine. But first, let's reset for a moment, because I know what you're probably thinking. A penny worth $1 million? Sounds like one of those too-good-to-be-true stories, right? Like the time your uncle swore he had a rare baseball card, but it turned out to be a cereal box cutout. But this is different, and here's why. Back in 1974, the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents. The familiar memorial design, the image of Lincoln himself, and the absence of a mint mark, indicating it was struck in Philadelphia. To most, these coins were nothing special, just another penny in the sea of copper. But here's where it gets fascinating. Out of those billions, a tiny fraction left the presses with extraordinary qualities. Some had rare errors. Others were struck with unusual precision. And in the rarest cases, collectors discovered examples so pristine, so flawless in condition, that they became priceless treasures. This is where opportunity hides. You see, most people underestimate the power of condition and rarity. A worn-out penny from 1974 might get you 1 cent, maybe 2 if you're lucky. But a mint-state, high-grade, no-mint mark Lincoln penny? That's where values skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands. Think of it like this. 2 people walk into a garage sale. One sees a pile of junk. The other sees a signed Picasso sketch tucked inside a dusty frame. Which one are you? The truth is, the rare coin market rewards those who look closer, those who pay attention. And here's the cliffhanger. One of these 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial cents reached a staggering $974,000 in private auction. Imagine the heart-racing moment of holding a coin like that, knowing your life is about to change forever. But how do you know if your penny is the jackpot? That's the million-dollar question. And the answer will surprise you. First, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to flawless mint state. A 1974 penny that's been through laundromats and vending machines won't cut it. But one that has remained untouched, shining with its original copper brilliance, could be worth life-changing sums. Second, errors matter. Misstrikes, double dies, or unusual features can transform an ordinary penny into an extraordinary find. If your coin looks unusual, don't dismiss it. That odd detail might be your ticket to financial freedom. And third, timing is crucial. The rare coin market thrives on demand, excitement, and scarcity. Right now, collectors and investors are paying record-breaking prices. That penny in your drawer may not just be old pocket change. It could be the key to your wealthy lifestyle. So here's my question to you. Will you ignore that jar of coins? Or will you take a closer look? Because the difference between 1 cent and $974,000 lies in your hands. Picture it. Selling a single penny and paying off your home. Or retiring early. Or gifting generational wealth to your family. It sounds like a dream, but it's a dream grounded in reality. People are doing it. Right now, so the next time you pick up a penny, ask yourself, am I holding a fortune? Or am I about to let opportunity slip away? Stay curious. Stay ambitious. And whatever you do, don't underestimate the power of a single coin. Because hidden in plain sight could be the treasure that changes everything. Imagine this. You're holding a penny, just a single ordinary-looking coin. brown copper, worn edges, a date you've seen 1,000 times before, 1973. Nothing glamorous, nothing extraordinary. At least, that's what you think. But what if I told you that one of these 1973 Lincoln Memorial pennies with no mint mark at all recently shocked the coin-collecting world with a jaw-dropping value of $973,000? Yes, nearly $1 million for a penny. Now, before you dismiss this as some collector's rumor or internet myth, let me ask you, how many times have you tossed spare change into a jar, into a drawer, or even back into circulation without a second thought? What if your financial freedom, your dream of living wealthy, retiring early, or finally giving your family the life they deserve, was hiding right there, in the copper coins jingling in your pocket? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to identify it, and how you can turn something as small as 1 cent into a life-changing fortune. Let's peel back the mystery. First, the basics. In 1973, the U.S. Mint struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln Memorial cents. Most were ordinary. Philadelphia struck coins with no mint mark. Denver added a little D. San Francisco carried the S. So why would a no mint mark penny be special? Here's the twist. It isn't just the absence of a mint mark. It's the combination of rarity, condition, and subtle minting variations. That's where true treasure hides. Some coins left the mint with unique errors. A double die on the obverse. A striking mistake on Lincoln's bust. Tiny imperfections invisible to the casual eye but priceless to the trained collector. Now, pause with me for a second. Have you ever looked at a penny under bright light? Held it close, as though searching for secrets? That's exactly what separates the person who spends a fortune from the person who finds one. Collectors, investors, even wealthy buyers, what they crave isn't just copper. It's story. It's rarity. It's the chance to own a piece of history that almost nobody else has. And here's where the fear kicks in. Every day, rare pennies like this slip through hands unnoticed. Cashed in for a dollar bill at the bank. Dropped into a vending machine. Spent on gum. Imagine being the one who had a $973,000 penny and lost it. That's the silent tragedy of coin collecting. But there's also excitement. Because right now you might already have one. Sitting in a coffee can. Hidden in a sock drawer. Buried in a family collection that's been gathering dust for decades. When was the last time you actually looked at your change? Be honest. For most of us, it's been years. And yet, one glance could be the moment that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Now, the real question. How do you know if your 1973 penny is worth nearly $1 million? Start with condition. Grading is everything. A pristine, uncirculated coin can command prices that turn collectors into millionaires overnight. Next, check for those errors. Doubletis. Off-center strikes. Anything unusual. These tiny details transform a penny into a prize. And here's the cliffhanger. You won't believe how many of these coins are still out there. Experts estimate that countless 1973 no-mint mark pennies remain unaccounted for, quietly circulating, tucked into collections, forgotten by families who have no idea what they're holding. Which means this: the opportunity hasn't passed. The treasure hunt isn't over. It's happening right now. Picture it. You find the coin. You send it for grading. The results come back. The appraisal stuns even the experts. Suddenly, you're holding a piece of copper worth $973,000. A coin that buys not just freedom, but legacy. And let me leave you with this thought. Every millionaire story begins with a decision. Some people decide to ignore the pennies. Others decide to search. Which one are you? Because the truth is, the next $1 million penny could already be in your possession. The only question is, will you discover it before it disappears forever? If you're serious about finding and selling rare coins for wealth, subscribe right now. Don't let the chance for fortune pass you by. Check your pennies. Study your coins. Because sometimes the difference between pocket change and a wealthy lifestyle is knowing what to look for. And remember this, today's penny could be tomorrow's empire. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand. Worn copper, scratched edges, a coin you might toss into a fountain without a second thought. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking penny from 1969 with no mint mark could be worth almost $1 million. Yes, $969,000 for a single cent. That's the kind of story that makes people lean in and listen, because the treasure is often hiding right under our noses. Now, before you think this is just another coin tale, let me ask you, how many times have you emptied your pockets, brushed off some pennies, and thought they had no value at all? You might laugh at yourself after today, because what you're about to hear could change how you see every coin that passes through your hands. And here's the truth. Most people who had one of these coins never knew it. Some spent it at the grocery store, some lost it in the couch cushions, some gave it away as change. And yet a select few became instant millionaires. That raises the question, how do you recognize a treasure when it's disguised as pocket change? And what makes the 1969 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny so extraordinary? Stay with me. By the end, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why time may be running out to find one. The year was 1969. America was landing on the moon, Woodstock was filling the air with music, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of Lincoln Memorial pennies. Most of them were stamped with a tiny letter, a mint mark showing where they were made. But some, a very small number, left the presses with no mint mark at all. And here's where the story turns mysterious. Because in the world of coin collecting, a mint mark is not just a symbol. It's the fingerprint of history. A missing mark transforms a common coin into a rare artifact. Suddenly, that penny you might dismiss becomes a once-in-a-generation discovery. Collectors know this, investors know this, and auction houses whisper about it. The last known sale of a pristine 1969 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny reached a staggering $969,000. Imagine being the person who discovered that in a jar of coins at the back of a closet. Now here's the part that should make you sit up straight. Experts believe more of these pennies are still out there. In drawers, in jars, buried in old collections. Maybe in your home right now. Pause for a second. Picture yourself emptying a coffee can of old change. You hear the rattle, you see the copper glint, and one coin catches your eye. No mint mark. What would that moment feel like? Relief? Shock? The thrill of knowing you just uncovered wealth that could rewrite your future. And don't think this is reserved for lifelong collectors. Many of the biggest coin discoveries came from ordinary people who simply paid attention. Which means this isn't just about luck. It's about awareness. And before you relax, let me warn you. Time is working against you. Each year, coins disappear from circulation. They're melted, they're forgotten, they're hoarded by others who know the secret. The window to find a 1969 no-mint Mark penny is closing. And the stakes could not be higher. So where does this leave you? At a crossroads. On one side, you keep treating pennies like pennies. You ignore the chance and the story ends there. On the other side, you choose to look closer, to search through those jars, those boxes, those piggy banks. And perhaps you uncover a fortune. $969,000. Think about that number. It's a house paid in full. It's freedom from debt. It's security for your family. All from a coin most people would dismiss as worthless. So here is your challenge. Tonight, when you get home, gather your coins. Look carefully. Search for the 1969 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. Compare, double-check, even get expert advice if you think you've found one. Because the regret of missing this chance will last far longer than the effort it takes to look. And here's something to hold on to. In every great treasure story, the hero is never the one who gave up. It's the one who stayed curious, who believed there might be more hidden in plain sight. So ask yourself, will you let another day slip by, tossing away what could be your key to wealth? Or will you be the one who discovers the $1,000,000 penny? Because somewhere out there, right now, someone is about to find it. And it might as well be you.